Rubén Herrera.
María del Socorro Contreras and Amaris Contreras.
Nelly Castillo.
Richard Contreras.
Ali Valdez.
Contreras.
David Gonzalez.
Okay, hello everyone. My name is Paulina Jasmine Contreras, and you guys are probably wondering, why am I wearing a Cowboys jersey when it's not football season? But as you can see, I'm wearing a bracelet. It has the star of the Cowboys and the football, and I have the earrings. So basically, the Cowboys are the best team in the NFL. That was a joke. No, they're not. I'm going to give you some information on how to become a Cowboys fan. In order to become a Dallas Cowboys fan, you must know how many Super Bowls we won, the names we go by, and the best players in the Cowboys team. So I'm a Cowboys fan now. I wasn't. I had no idea what football was. I wasn't interested in it, and my family, well, I wasn't raised in football. My family didn't watch football until I met my husband, and he basically introduced me to football. And little by little, him and also you guys, his family, converted me into a Cowboys fan, which now I am a Cowboys fan. As you can see, I'm a Cowboys fan. So, you must know that the Dallas Cowboys became known as America's team. That was in the 1970s when the Cowboys were winning. In 1971 and in 1977, that was when they won the Super Bowl championships. Though by the 1980s, the Cowboys just kept losing and losing. And I was watching a show on America's Team, 1991. Michael Irvin states, "We lost so much in that season. I cried from every loss." These are his words. He cried every loss, but everybody seemed okay with it. Nobody cared that they were losing. His players were telling him, "It's okay. At the end of the week on Tuesday, we'll just get the paycheck." They didn't care. They didn't put any effort into playing the actual game. So that was the last era of Tom Landry as the head coach of the Super Bowl of the Cowboys. So, and he was 29 years as a head coach of the Cowboys. That is a long time, 29 years. So here comes Jerry Jones, and he buys the football team from Von Bright, which clearly was the worst mistake he could have ever done. But hey, what can we do? On that day that he bought, Jerry Jones, that day that he bought the Cowboys, he said a speech. It was a wonderful speech, and I totally agree with him. There is no substitute for winning. And I know that is cliche, but we must win. We will win. Win is the name of the game. That's a great, powerful thing he could have said. So Landry was out of the game, and they hired Jimmy Johnson as a head coach for the Dallas Cowboys. And you gotta understand, Jimmy Johnson was a badass dude. Sorry for my language, but he was straightforward. He was very commanding, and I have so much respect for that guy. And he never went pro. He was never head coach of a pro football team. He was coach for, I believe, the Miami Dolphins, and they won a championship back in the 80s. So, the problem with Johnson is that he didn't have a good team, you know? They just won 71 and 77, and he didn't really have a good team. So Jimmy Johnson and Jerry Jones, they get their heads together, and they have the first draft pick, number 1 draft pick in 1989. And who does Jimmy Johnson see? Former Troy Aikman. He came out from college football, UCLA, and he says, "I want him." And Troy Aikman, he feels like, man, this dude Jimmy Johnson has been wanting to get me since high school, and now he has the number 1 draft pick. I know he's gonna pick me. So these are his words. If I'm picked, I cannot turn down Jimmy Johnson. And I don't know how badly of the Cowboys team is, because Cowboys, after 77, they weren't that great. So Jimmy Johnson, he was sincere, he was a strong character, and he just went down right to business. And he would always tell the players, "I love you when you give me tackles. When you stop giving me tackles, I stop loving you. And by the 1990s, they traded a player, Herschel Walker. He was a small guy, but they traded him for 5 picks and Emmitt Smith. And Emmitt Smith, he was a small guy, but he had talent. That's one of the players what said. And Jimmy Johnson would always tell this to Emmitt: the body does not control the mind. The body controls the mind. And in just 2 years, the Cowboys were transformed from old and slow to young and fast. The boys were back. They wanted to win the championships. So Jimmy Johnson became the coach of the year. He literally became the coach of the year, and he would always say, "Don't be cute, don't be pretty, be good." And the Cowboys were on top of the world. Fans became crazy for the Cowboys. It was, whoo! In 91 at the LA Coliseum, there was 91,000 people in that Coliseum to see the Cowboys play. The Cowboys won in 1992, 1993, and 1995, the Super Bowl championships. The best years for the Cowboys, especially us fans. Irvin and Emmitt Smith, they were known as, I take that back, Troy Aikman, Michael Irvin, and Emmitt Smith, they were known as the triplets. They made a difference in that game. They made a difference in the team. And now in the present, I can say the best players right now would be Des Bryant, Jason Witten, and Tony Romo. Now, the Cowboys have not won since 1995, and we're still waiting for that moment, obviously.
I'm hoping.
One thing you have to understand, though, about the Cowboys fans is that they are die-hard fans. They bleed silver and blue. And you're able to see that and hear about the Cowboys everywhere you go around the United States. There is always a Cowboys fan in every state and every city, no matter what. So you're always going to hear that. And that's how the Cowboys are known as, the boys, America's team. That's what we are. And unfortunately, we're owned by Jerry Jones, not the brightest dude, but he has money. And I guess in this time now, that's what's important, money. So we can buy players. So even though we have not won a championship, and it seems like every year they're not getting close to it, but we will still be there cheering for the boys and hoping for the best and hoping they can at least make it to the Super Bowl. We might not win it, but please get to the playoffs. So that's what loyal fans do. So how about them Cowboys? Any questions?
Have you been to the Dallas Cowboys Stadium?
No, I have not, but my cousin has, and he tells me it's worth it. He's like, when you get there, you see this big screen. She's like, Jerry Jones has invested his money into that stadium.
Do you want to go someday?
I want to go, of course. I really want to go. I want to go during November, December when it's really cold, though.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Wow. And do you know how much it costs to?
I think just in a room where you stand to see the Cowboys game, I think it's close to $1,000. I think. I might be wrong.
Parking's $100, I heard.
Oh, $100?
$100?
Wow.
How many Super Bowls have the Cowboys played in?
8. They have played in 8. Yes.
Well, you're well educated.
And how many have they won?
5.
Yeah.
How much is the value of the Cowboys today?
The value of the Cowboys? Do you know?
No, I don't think you.
That I did not check. I did not check how much are the value of the Cowboys.
2.2 billion.
Wow, that's a lot of money. 2.2 billion.
Thank you.
Yay! I don't know.
Okay, thank you very much.
All right.